So I also knew I needed to replace a well, so I negotiated with them in the concept of under the energy performance contract, could I also put in a more efficient well, as this is significant savings both in water and in energy. So they said yes, which was awesome. And of course, now we have the nasty part of trying to find matching money for all the grants and even for this energy performance contract, because that's the unknown. And all these grants and all this money floating out there, it's like this big carrot. But what you don't know is all these little hoops you have to jump to get to these grants. And the biggest challenge, of course, is they want some type of matching money. Well, my argument was then, if I had matching money, I probably wouldn't be knocking at your door for grants. I'm broke and I need this stuff fixed. What's the solution? So the engineering company and myself put our heads together. We thought, how can we do this? Because we quite honestly just blew whatever money we had in the $700,000 for the engineering on the wastewater plant that was still needing to be done.
Gosh.
So we went to DOLA, Department of Local Affairs, and said, would you take the concept of, we are pretty sure after our testing that we can capture revenue that's now being lost of 7.5% to 8% on the meters. And on our well, we know that each month it costs us about $5,200 to run a well electrically. We project to put in a solar array that will cover 80% of that cost. So we can give you some pretty hard numbers that this amount per month is what we will save or capture. And will you use that as matching money? And fortunately, they said, yes, we'll do that, because it was a contract with the Energy Performance Office, and they felt pretty confident that those were real facts and figures and real money that was going to be captured. So that then opened up the gateway for us financially. So we went and applied with 70 other people for there was only like $3.5 million available in that grant time frame.
Yeah.
So we did our due diligence and put together a real good display for them, and we went before the board twice. And fortunately, we got 850,000 of that 3.5 million,
Yeah.
which we were very thankful and grateful for. And then now with that 850,000, now we had matching money to go pursue a loan for the remainder of this project with a state revolving loan fund. So we kind of leveraged each other to get up to where we needed to be. The exciting thing for this, I wish every big project would go like this one, because as we're nearing the end of this project, we have confirmed already that we are gaining about 8% revenue capture on the meters. And on the well, this is our brand new solar array that will be running on a perfectly sunny day. It'll actually do 100%, but we put in 20% of unexpected, cloudy and snowy and that type of stuff. So right now, when I'm looking at the end of this project, it is coming, the revenue capture from the well, or well, actually from the meters, and the money savings, energy savings from the well, that money per month is almost identical to the amount of the loan payment per month. So we're coming almost really, really close to a net zero impact to our customers. I won't have to do a rate increase for these people to pay for this, because the project itself is paying for itself.
So a couple things. So you take two different programs that normally you would never, no one's linking these together. You don't have to sell anything to your customers, it sounds like, because it doesn't affect them. Their numbers don't change for them. And man, how would I explain this? Are we gonna see more of these kind of like really unique solutions needing to be put together to help groups like yourselves? And how do we find out about them? How can you put those two together?
Well, quite honestly, it will have to, because these with CDPHE becoming more strict on both water and wastewater, these things just can't be ignored. So you're going to have to come up with some inventive solutions in order to protect your environment, to offer a quality product for your customers. You can't just kick the can down the road. So I've grown up the worst thing that DOLA could have said, no, we won't do that. And then we'd be back scratching something else. But they could say yes. And in my experience, I'm working with the financing, state and federal financing, is huge majority of them really want to help. They are just as
Yeah.
frustrated with the hoops as we are. And if you give them some kind of a even half sane option to say, hey, would this work? They want to work with you and will work with you. We're negotiating right now on the wastewater treatment plant of how we can, what creative solution can we do there. And we're also creatively working on a reservoir for our augmentation water. That's a $3 million project. How are we going to do $3 million when I got a $2.1 million water project and a $4 million wastewater project? How am I going to do another $3 million project
Right.
over on this?
So I think
So
is the big lesson just the CDPHE, they're here to help, and you might have to kind of poke them a couple times and just keep asking and trying, but they're not this. I think that's the thing. Everyone thinks it's this big agency. These are people. These are people too, and they
right,
want to help. And while they can't always help you right then and there, if you give them your intention, I think that they will keep you in mind when things arise.
right. And they're really desiring, it's in my experience, they really desire to want to help. Most of them have got into that with the intent of wanting to help protect the environment, to give quality products. And yeah, I think the mistake that many, especially small districts, they look them as the enemy